Oops, this is the wrong one. Sorry. I also want to do the slideshow just because it gets the subtitles as well. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with, of course, a disclaimer that everything we do is for informational purposes only. We're not, things change all the time. So the information contained in this class is provided as general information, can be incomplete or outdated. Users and information are responsible for independently verifying any and all information and is responsible for the use of any products included in the class. Inclusion of links from this class does not apply endorsement or support of the mentioned service product. Class is being recorded and may be used for training, marketing, and commercial purposes. If you do not wish to have your likeness recorded, please turn off your camera by clicking on the camera icon in the lower left-hand corner of your Zoom window, or simply cover your camera. All right, so I'm going to warm you guys up, all right, with some Q&A. And these are all things that we've covered through our classes or the past couple of years, or things you just might know. All right, first question. Which social media app only lets you view pictures and messages for a limited time? I'll give you a hint. The kids are all on it.
Snapchat.
Snapchat. Yep, that's Snapchat. Okay. All right. How many of you guys have an iPhone? Most of you guys probably. What year did the iPhone first launch?
04?
04, that's a good guess. Anybody else?
I think it's 20 years ago.
20 years ago? That would be 2003?
2002.
2?
Oh, yeah.
Keep going. Anybody else? I'll kill the suspense. 2007. So really the iPhone is what, 15 years old? And
Wow.
it seems like it's been part of our life forever, but it really hasn't been. All right, for all you science nerds, what unit of length, and this is too bad Veda's not here, he'd probably know this. What unit of length is equal to about 5.8 trillion miles?
1 light year.
Must be
Well, who
light
said
year.
that? Don Ho said that? Wow, we should give out prizes for this stuff. You're right. How did you know that? Were you a physicist, scientist?
No, we asked that on Alexa.
Ah,
I missed the
So
answer. I missed the answer.
a light year, which is interesting because they just, if you look at the JWS telescope, they said relatively close, 40 light years away. There's a solar system that has like 8 planets Earth size that potentially have water and an atmosphere. You all got to know this one. What does CPU stand for?
Central Processing Unit.
There you go. Created in 1990. What was the name of the first internet search engine?
Oh,
Netscape.
Yahoo.
We had Yahoo, we had Netscape, we had InfoSeek, but there's something before that. I don't think we've ever mentioned this. So the first search engine was named
AOL.
Archie.
Archie.
Archie. Everybody knows what Nintendo is? You guys know what Nintendo is? Your kids, grandkids probably have one.
Yeah.
What year was this company founded?
75 is too obvious. You're probably going to tell us before that.
1989.
1889.
Oh,
1889.
Lord.
Yes, Lord is right. It shocked me. And then finally, you all have to know this one. What Amazon only sold which products?
Books.
Absolutely. So you guys all passed. All right. So that was our test. All right. So we're going to open this up. And we'll just go ahead and make it a blank. We're just going to go like this so you guys can see our closed captions. But let's open it up. I have other things that we can go through, but let's go and ask who's got the first question for today. No?
Eric, this is
Yes.
Carol.
Hi, Carol.
So I've been seeing many articles recently about the proper way to charge your device, be it
Yes.
the phone or the laptop, and there's conflicting responses out there.
Okay.
Would you please clarify all that stuff?
All right. So if you buy a new computer or if you buy a new phone, there are ways to optimize built in are optimizing your battery. Automatically, if you do not interfere with it, it will only charge to about 85%. And so the science is telling us that so when we fully charge our phone, so it used to be that when we fully charge a phone and supposedly drained it all the way, it exercised the battery. What they have found is that if you don't fully charge your battery, it will hold its full charge longer, is what they're saying now. They also tell you, and actually my phone has what they call optimized night charging. They also say, don't charge your phone overnight and trickle charge it, right? Because what it does is it kind of just expands it and overcharges the battery, okay? They also will tell you, the latest what they tell you is that instead of letting it sit and charge the whole way through, charge it a little bit at a time through the day if you're running down, right? So rather than letting it sit for a full 2 hours to let it charge, go ahead and give it like a little charge for 15 minutes. Go ahead and give it a charge for 20 minutes, whatever. All right. That's the latest of what they say. I still charge my battery overnight, but again, mine has what's called optimized charging. In fact, I woke up earlier today than I normally do, so it gets used to my sleep patterns. And so when I woke up at 6 instead of 7, they said my phone told me it wasn't fully charged because it was smart enough to know that I usually get up at 7. It's going to optimize charging until I get up at 7 a.m. All right, Andy, you have a question on that?
Yeah, I don't know what trickle charge is, and also a fast charge. Does that depend on the charger itself or the device that?
So let's talk about a trickle charge first. A trickle charge is after it's been fully charged and it's still plugged in, it'll just kind of keep charging it because your phone or device or computer, if it's on, still consumes power. And so it just kind of trickles in that power to top it off. Okay. Fast charging is very interesting. Fast charging is dependent upon the power source and the ability of your device to take in that charge. So on my phone, I have a OnePlus Android phone. They gave me a 65-watt charger, but it's designed to take that 65-watt charger. And so I can get a full charge in about 20 minutes. All right. Now, with iPhones, the highest one you're going to get, I think, is a 25-watt charger, which is more than what you get out of the box. Well, actually, they don't give you a charger in the box anymore. All right. But the ones, and I'll give you another clue. The cable that charges it also has something to do with it as well. Okay. So a lightning cable does not, the lightning cable is the flat ones with the white stripes in it, cannot charge as fast as the C chargers, which is what you're getting on the new phones and new devices, which is like a complete even oval that you can flip up and down. In fact, if you get a new MacBook, you only have USB-C ports. So, and then if I buy another OnePlus, they're going to give me an 85-watt charger, which is even faster. So it depends on the charging brick, the cord, your device, and the device software in order to do a fast charge. If you plug in, say, your laptop charger to your phone and your phone's not used to it, that's not advisable. You could quickly overheat and overcharge the battery. The other thing I'm gonna tell you about batteries is that heat kills them. Okay. If it's super hot, you're in Arizona, you leave it in your car, you're charging it, it will potentially give you problems. And then one more word on charging. Do not charge it and use a high energy consumption application. So in other words, don't have it plugged in and be watching the World Cup on it at the same time for your phones and tablets. Your laptops are a little bit different because they're a little smarter. Okay. Does that make sense?
Why?
Because it strains the battery is what I read. It does something weird. It gets conflicted on consumption
Charging.
and charging.
Charging. Okay.
Yeah. So it gets kind of wacky.
Hmm.
Nancy, hold on. Nancy, you had your hand up first. I'll get to
Yeah,
you
just
next
a
time.
quick question. I have a Lenovo laptop, and is it good or bad to just leave it plugged in overnight?
Sleeping, asleep, or turned off, or just on?
Well,
It'll
no,
typically go to
it's,
sleep.
I don't consciously do anything. I put it, I put its
The
lid
screen goes
down.
off. The screen goes off though
The
when you come
screen
up in the
goes off,
morning.
correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
I don't think it's a horrible thing to do. Part of it is, again, your software has gotten smarter and how it's supposed to charge it. However, if you never unplug your laptop and never use your battery, you probably won't get as much battery life in the next couple of years.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
gotta
I've
go
been
up and
thinking,
down.
yeah. When I have my laptop in my office, I typically just, plug it in, which could be
Yeah.
day, night, or whatever, and then so I'm not really conscious of how long it is plugged in. Periodically, it'll get pretty low if I'm using it, in the evening, and I've used it during the day. So
Laptops are as critical as our phones and tablets. They have a bigger battery in there. Right? Phones and tablets have a tiny little battery in there.
okay. Thank
Don?
you.
Yeah, when you were saying that not to charge a battery and use, application at the same time, we do that a lot when we use the car and use Google Map, the direction, and you're charging. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't really avoid it, but you can. I mean,
Is that
again,
an
if we
issue,
keep
or
our,
is the app not using that much, power consumption?
it's not using as much. What we're talking about is like charging and playing games,
Oh.
charging and watching videos, charging. Those things are a little bit more power intensive. Right.
Okay.
And I mean, for example, if you play games on your phone or tablet and you play it for a little while, you'll quickly see how fast the battery goes down. Those are high consumption applications.
Well, kids do that when they're watching, when they're driving and
Of course, they are.
right? We do that all
They
the
shouldn't
time.
be.
Right.
They shouldn't be. Yeah, they shouldn't be. The thing is, unplug it, play your game. When it gets low, plug it back in,
All right.
and then tell them to have a conversation with you.
All right. Yeah, sure. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I know. Andy, you have another
Yeah,
question
I
or a
do.
follow-up question?
No, a follow-up question on this. When I'm charging my
Okay.
iPad and
But look
I
at
have
the
it
other
hooked,
number that it went to.
I have it
Hold
hooked into that little square Apple thing that plugs into the outlet, and that little square thing gets real hot sometimes. Does that mean I'm using the wrong?
Is it an OEM or is it a generic? Is it an
Um,
Apple one or is it generic?
Yeah, it's an Apple one.
You might want to get a different one. Just in case. If it gets, I mean, it depends. It's relative on how hot means, right? And so if it's warm, that's okay. If it's hot, like hot to touch, I'd probably get another one. Or try it in a different plug and see if it's the same, you get the same results. One more note on charging. Not all cables are the same. So you can get to a gas station and get a really cheap cable, and you might get it because you're on the road, you broke your cable, whatever, right? You want to get for Apple, you want to get either fast charging MFCI certified cables. I think that's what it is. And just make sure that they are certified cables. Android cables are a little bit different. Android cables, they basically come in cheap and better. And better is typically faster. And I can show you, I'll show you that real quick here on
It's a great
Amazon.
analogy.
Yeah.
Eric?
It's hard because you go out on Amazon if you need a little piece or a component of something and
Yeah. And so what we're looking for on an Amazon on a cable, lightning cable, you want to make sure it's MFI certified. Okay. And if they are not, you probably don't want to get them. Now, they've also come down in price. And so, like you just need to make sure it has MFI. So some of them are better than others. When you're looking at was it USB-C cables, you really want to go with what they call fast charging cables, right? So like some say fast charge, some don't. And so you really want to go with the fast this one. And by the way, I do like Anchor products. They're typically pretty good. They've started making cable, they start making other things, but Anchor's done a pretty good job. And so try to stay with not the cheapest, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Somebody else had a question here.
I have a question, Eric.
Yes, Tina.
It's me, Thalia.
Oh, Thalia. Sorry. I saw Tina's hand up and I saw her talking. So hold on
I'm
one second,
sorry,
Tina.
I can't find the
Thalia,
hand up on my.
Sorry, Thalia, and I'll come back to Tina. All
Okay.
right, go ahead, Thalia.
Hi, Eric. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
When I turn on my Apple laptop, about half the time I get a message, 504 gateway timeout. What does that mean?
404 or 504?
504. I don't know what a gateway is.
The gateway is getting to the internet. So
Okay.
let me just look real quick. 504 gateway timeout indicates the server acting as gateway did not receive a time response from them. So basically it was having connection problems getting to the internet to wherever you were. When you open up your computer, is it opening up to a particular web page?
No, that's the message on the screen, 504 gateway timeout. And then usually I just wait a few minutes and the server will load.
Is that are you in Comcast or AT&T?
AT&T, your favorite.
Yeah. It might have something to do with your internet connection.
Okay.
Let me just look real quick. I'm also wondering, like I said, something else. There's potentially something else going on that when you turn it on, that it's out and looking for something on the internet. And so there's a couple things I'd be worried about. One of which is I'd probably run an antivirus program, run a scan, make sure there's nothing going out and that there's no marketing or malware or grayware that's going out to the internet to search for stuff.
Okay.
And that when you turn it on, it's searching for stuff, but it hasn't connected to the internet yet, for example. And you get a bad game. What's really happening is if you have nothing open, you shouldn't be getting that 504 error.
Okay.
And then if you continue to have problems, just call me and we'll do a remote call or something.
Okay. Thank you, Eric.
All right, Tina, unmute and you got your hand raised.
I have
There
a
you go.
problem with, okay, I'm going to take a picture if I can. Can I not send you a picture?
Yeah, well, I can see that. Hold on. Let me look at this.
Okay, I have a problem with contacts. I think I'm showing my
Oh.
contact list.
Okay.
I have sometimes 3 people listed, I mean, one person listed 3 times.
Yep,
So they probably got injured on Google, and then they got injured on iCloud,
yep.
and I can't figure out how to get rid of the 3. I've tried doing the duplicate, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, so we had a class all about contacts, and we suggest that you only use one list. And so that means there's a little bit of work involved. We can kind of clean everything out and then export the list from one into one spreadsheet and then upload it back into iCloud. Or if you're confident that they both have everything in it, you're on a Mac, right?
Yes.
You go to the Mac, you go to contacts, you go to left, you go to groups, and you unclick some of them. For
But I don't know if
example,
But I don't know if they're on iCloud or if they're on Apple.
they're probably, well, you mean in Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can't
so
tell
there's a little bit of work that has to be done to kind of clean it up and then reset and reuse one list.
How do I?
Right, so we need a consolidated list. In Gmail, let's go to Gmail real quick.
Right. I usually use Gmail.
So let's go to what accounts in Gmail. Let's just do this. I think I have.
I want
any
them on the
contacts.
iCloud. But I really want them all on the
Yeah.
iCloud.
Yeah, so in Gmail, it's easy, right? We go to contacts.
Right.
We're going to select all, and we're going to export them all, right? And so let's see how we do this. All right, hold on. See, Veda should have been here because he just did this class.
I missed it.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna go into Gmail, select more. Let's see, go contacts, select more. Okay. Contacts.
Okay.
We're gonna go into. Let's see, where is it? I gotta find it. Hold on. More settings. No, let's see. I will give you instructions on how to do this. So bottom line is you got to consolidate the list and then start using one of them. And if you're an Apple user, you should probably put them all on iCloud.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
We will post instructions on how to export from Gmail.
Perfect. Okay. So the only ones I have contacts are is just through adding through Google or through the iCloud. Those are only 2 choices.
If that's where your lists are coming from, those are the accounts that you use. Yes. Gmail's or Google's pretty easy because it merges duplicates all in one shot. I tend to use Google more so than I would use for iCloud.
Right. But when you go
It
away,
carries
like,
with you.
have both.
If you ever go somewhere, if you ever change devices, you'll never get them out of iCloud. I mean, you
Oh,
can, but it's difficult. It's more
I see.
difficult.
Okay. Maybe I'll just
Alright.
keep it all on Google. Okay. Get
Alright.
out of cloud. Okay.
Sorry, I wish I had a better answer for you right this minute. I
Okay.
should have paid attention. I should have paid attention to the Beta's class more.
Thank you.
Don, you got a question?
Yeah, this doesn't do anything with technology per se, but ever since we've been taking a class, we have become very suspicious of anything that comes through the internet, right? And anything that comes through even our snail mail. So we got this thing just 2 days ago, and I'm wondering from anyone else that may have gotten this notice, but it comes in an envelope that looks as scammy as anything you can think of. So I'm not sure you can see this.
Not with your background, we can't see it.
Okay. Well, anyway. It says not a bill or an advertisement, so that's a red alarm already, and important information. Anyway, it actually says this has to do with our middle class tax refund, and it gives us a credit card or something of that nature with that looks pretty legit. Has anyone gotten this thing from 2020?
I
Went
just-
online to check it out, and it has to do with the state refunding certain
I
things
just,
from
I
2 years
just
ago,
read, I
surplus?
just read an article on the Nextdoor forum. And they were talking about this thing, and yes, it is legit. Do not throw it away. That's your rebate.
Okay. all right.
I had a different experience and some
Oh,
other.
Susan Betts is showing hers.
Excuse me. I had where it was, I did not get that, and it was deposited directly to my account. So if you have any, I don't know whether you get, I guess maybe it's you get your social security or you do your California, where you pay and get deposits. It just went directly, California, it would have been California, directly into my account.
Actually, this one went to a debit account with Visa and with our
Yeah.
name and an account. And I guess you can use it like disability type of, a debit card. So anyway, okay. Well, I mean, it was a card and people said this is pretty legit then. It doesn't have anything, with our information.
So
okay,
if you're able
we'll
to
check it
see,
on in the bank, see what happens.
yeah, if you look at Susan Betts's screen, Susan, if you want to hold that back up, that's what she received. And it's a state of California visa, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is exactly the one I have. Yeah. So
Okay.
people have gotten that. So great, good.
So Susan's been buying everybody Christmas presents off of that, right, Susan? There you go.
All right, thank
Lisa.
you, Susan.
All right, no, that's a great question. Lisa, question.
Going back to
Comment.
contacts, if you have multiple Gmail accounts, is there any way to merge all those contacts together into one Gmail contact?
I think we follow the same process. We download and upload. And if I can figure out how to download it, I will tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Right, and then it's a procedural use, right? Which means we change how we work, and that when if you have multiple and you add a contact, it'll ask you which account you want to save it to. And just be consistent, use it in the same one. But I will get you guys the answer. Nancy, another question. You're on mute though. Nancy, you're on mute.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. I related to information we get. So I received in the mail probably last week, a pretty official looking thing. It was regular postage. It had the perforations on the side, so you sort of wonder where it's coming from. And it did say, this is, you are required to fill this out. And what it was an additional census. And it was where they just selected, it came just to my address, not to my name. And when I opened it up, it had the link, it had all specific stuff. I sort of debated, but I was torn by, this is a legal document that you need to fill out. It took a while to answer. There was a lot of questions about housing, how many people live in your home and stuff. So I'm curious if anybody else got it. I went ahead and did it. Okay, just the combination of regular postage, legal form. I was the one that went into it gave me the link, gave me the password. So anyway, just an aside if somebody else has experienced that.
No, but I just looked it up. And it says how to verify mailings from the Census Bureau. Receive a letter or survey in the mail from Census. The envelope contains certain information that will help you verify its legitimacy. For example, say U.S. Census Bureau and the return address or U.S. Department of Commerce. The return address is in Jeffersonville, Indiana. So nowhere else. And it says they do continuous surveys. So
it is continuous because then I got a similar one, but that particular one said, the first one didn't say if you've already filled it out, ignore it. The second one said if you've already filled this out, ignore it.
yeah.
So, okay, it looks like I'm maybe not gonna get hacked. Who do you use to check, Snoop, or who do you check all your?
I'm actually on the government site.
On the,
I'm on the
okay,
census.gov.
good, thank you. So it looks like it's semi-reasonable.
And but you could also go to Snopes also and
Snoops,
see
yeah, that's what I was
Snopes
asking.
and see if it's got
Snopes.
if it's available there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm semi, okay.
You know, it's funny because you guys, like Dawn said, since taking the classes, we're a little more paranoid. It's good to be paranoid. It's good to double check. I was at a client's house yesterday, and she showed me this letter, and it had, like, I don't know, an in-law from 30 years ago who used their mailing address. And she's very suspicious. Some of the way agencies put together mailing lists and sell the mailing lists, they use a conglomeration or just different addresses and names to try to piece things together without any real information. And I'm always suspicious on how they do that. But yes, even if it comes through snail mail, we need to be careful. Okay. I got a text this morning. One of the reasons why I woke up was because it came across my text. I didn't turn off my phone. And it says your package can't be delivered. Click this link. Especially during the holidays, you're like, oh crap, what did I order and what? But it had no identifier, it had nothing else. So of course it's spam. Okay. Since I'm ordering everything on Amazon mostly, I can always go back to my Amazon account and take a look. Wilbur, question.
Yeah,
Or
when
comment.
you're using, I think it's Edison mail, that,
Yes.
where do they get their contacts? Do they replicate all of your contacts and use that, or what? How do
Coming
they
from your
know
email account.
from?
So from your email. So if I have a contact list on one of my Gmail accounts, I'm sending from that Gmail account, it'll send from the contacts in that Gmail account. If I'm sending something from my Comcast account, it'll look into the Comcast account address list. If you try, so here's a test. If you have a contact in your Comcast or whatever, Comcast email, but it's not in your Gmail, try sending a note to from your Gmail with that contact and see if it shows up. And it doesn't. At least on mine, it does not. It's actually pretty cool. So they're coming from the email servers.
So it doesn't establish its own set of contacts.
No. Another question. Let's see. Wait, there's something in the chat. Let me see what's in the chat first, and I'll go back to Nancy. Says Marina, am I sharing my screen? I am only sharing a blank screen right now because that way we can have closed captions. Nancy. Oh, sorry.
At some time ago, I just don't remember. There was a database where we could go. I mean, I know the one about getting your phone number and stuff removed, but there used to be one that could limit all of the, the way your addresses get replicated and just mushroomed from all of the promo stuff, from all of the businesses and stuff. Is there a site or someplace where I can get my name and address removed from that? Does this was a while ago and I just don't remember it.
Let me look.
While he's looking for anybody's information, if you're trying to get rid of catalog, there is a pretty good site. It's called Catalog Choice, where you can go out and put in the name of the catalogs that you no longer want. Some of them, it'll send you to the site of the company, and other times it'll just take care of it. And I found that significantly helped cutting down on catalogs. But the mail that you get soliciting lately is out of control.
All right, so I am on consumer.ftc.gov site. Let me go here real quick. Let me open this up. Where's this here? Here. Look at the. Do stock, junk. Junk mail,
Yeah, junk mail, UPS.
consumer. See if I can find it.
Thank you. I could have asked the same question of Google.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Yeah, well, we don't do the snail mail stuff too often, so but
Right.
we should.
right.
So you can go to dmachoice.org, it looks like, and register that you don't want their stuff. There is a $4 processing fee, but your registration lasts 10 years. So this is at dmachoice.org.
Okay,
Um,
so that's
then
one
we
of the large
yeah.
databases for the advertisers. Okay,
There's a little few more other things in here, so you might
Okay.
want to take a look at
okay.
it.
All righty, I wrote down the site. Thank you.
I'll put it in chat as well. Okay, here we go. Don Ho.
Yeah, I forget it was either you or Veda that was holding a class on setting up a TV, new TV set, smart TV or whatever, and
Yep, probably me.
I tried that with my sister, recently in San Francisco, and she doesn't, want to get a cable setup. And you mentioned that there is a good indoor antenna that you guys use to try to get
Yeah.
local stations. Now, because of San Francisco in the hills, I mean, she doesn't get good outdoor, reception. Remember which one that you said
Okay.
you or Veda had good experience with?
Yeah, hold on. I sent it to Wilbur too. Let's see, where was it? It was I got it from review. It was what was it? When I sent it to you, Wilbur? It was like Mechanics Weekly or something like that, or what? Do you remember what article I sent it from?
No, I don't remember. I remember the article, but I don't remember the source.
It was I found it, and it was funny because it was from like a guy's magazine. And so
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this is gotta work, right? Because and then I bought a couple of them and put them in, and it's really great. But let me I can look it up in my Amazon account because I bought it.
Okay, so you got it from Amazon? Okay.
Yeah, so let me just go back to Amazon. And let me go to my orders. You can see all my Christmas gifts that I bought. Actually, here. I cleaned out my computer, so I gotta hold on for a second.
So you use one-time password.
Oh, OTP, one-time password. Okay.
Yeah, and so let's look at this antenna. And here it is. This is what I bought. And it works really well.
Oh. Want to do a screenshot?
Yeah, just one thing. Yeah, let me take a screenshot of that.
All right, Tina, you got a question, comment? I heard you speaking earlier. No? Okay. Other questions?
I have a
Oh, sorry.
question.
Yes.
Like if you think you're in the market for a new phone, don't do it. Like I bought my first Apple phone through Verizon.
Yep.
You don't recommend that, right?
It's a personal choice more than a practical choice. The personal choice is I don't like being committed for 2 years, because what happens is they'll give you a free phone for 2 years based on 24 monthly credits. That means you got to stick with them for the next 2 years or pay off your phone at some point. It's not a bad way to go. People do it all the time. I just personally don't like being committed to a vendor. And I also feel like I get better rates. So I'll give you an example. T-Mobile says they'll give you a free phone every 2 years on the Magenta Max plan. Okay, the Magenta Max plan cost me $45 a month for everything unlimited, but I'm currently paying $31 a month per line for with everything. And then, I mean, they don't have my plan anymore, but that's kind of how I went about it. And so their plans change all the time. And so if they give increases or you have to, you know, it's never a sure thing. I just personally like buying it. And if I want to sell it after because I don't like it, I can sell it. The other problem is there have been occasions in the past where we've broken a phone, right, and they won't fix it. And then you're stuck with it and you got to buy another one. All right. So I personally, I just outright buy them and then I don't have to worry about it. And if I break it or I don't like it, I can get another one and I'm not hooked into any plan. That's more of a personal than a
Yeah,
practical choice. And if you
okay.
can afford it, you can afford it. If you can't afford it, then it's time then you have to go through them.
Okay, thank you.
It's a cheap way to go. All right, Ev, I have a program running talking. I can hear it on my laptop, but can figure out how to end it. I have a program. Oh, can't seem to figure out via task manager. Can't see microphone on Chrome browser. So I would, Evelyn, I would close every tab that you have through your browser. So if you look at my screen, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tabs open up here at top. I would go through and close them all, right? And just start closing them. Typically, if something's playing, there will be a speaker up here, but it might be hidden. So it might be like, so if I go to Yahoo, where I go check out my news, sometimes there might be an ad playing, which is in a lower window, and it just makes noise. The other way you can do it is if you say you're on your laptop and you got a Windows machine because you have Task Manager, you can go down to these your dock down here, your taskbar, right click on it and close it. Okay, and so we can close things that way, and then just figure out what's playing. Hopefully that's helpful.
Thank you.
Good questions. Look, I was afraid we weren't going to use an hour and we used like a half hour on batteries, which is great. All right. Any other questions or comments?
One more question on messages. When it says something isn't enabled, they can't send a message. What does that mean? Has to be enabled.
What application, what device?
Apple phone on messages.
Okay. And so you are sending a text or in
Text.
You're sending a text and the recipient, it says.
And the phone says it can't send it because it needs to be enabled.
Can you send text to other people?
Yeah. But and what was funny is I couldn't send it on my phone, but I could get it on my iPad. I could do it on my iPad, but not on my phone.
Is that person a non-Apple user?
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe
So
so.
typically, so you have to go into your settings, messages. So you go to settings, general, let's see, settings, apps, messages, and you have to enable send as SMS
Okay,
for non-Apple users, basically. That's what it means.
okay. Thank you.
Try that first.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Eric, I have
Yes, Carol.
another question. And you've been over this before, and it seems to me I worked on it and it worked, but I can't do it again. I'm trying on I have a telephone, a Pixel, a Google Pixel 2.
Uh-huh.
And I try to send photos to people who are not on my contact list, but I can't seem to be able to type their information in, and it will not accept anything to send, but what's on my list. And it says it's send in Google Photos. So if the person doesn't have Google Photos, I guess I can't send it to their email.
So that's a setting. And so what will happen is make sure you're on Wi-Fi for one.
Okay.
And they like to send large attachments. And there's a reason why I don't get Google stuff like this. There's a couple of reasons. But they want to limit how big you can send stuff through the data lines, especially if you have a Pixel 2, which is older. But they limit how much they want you to send. You can override it, but your initial default is, hey, you should send this big photo or big video and share it through Google Photos versus sending it over the data line or sending it over text. In your settings, there should be something that says under your Google Messages that can override it, or you should be able to override when it asks you to send or share through Google Photos. The other part is you should be able to type in a phone number as you create a new text, which will allow you to send something to somebody who's not in your contact list.
Okay, so I can't send it to their email. I can't even send it to my Hotmail email.
You should be able to, we'd have to look at it. It's also could be a factor that you're using a Pixel 2, which is pretty old. They're on Pixel 7s now.
I know.
So
yes,
it might be
but
time for, it might be something limited with the operating system or the software that's installed on it. I haven't actually never seen a Pixel 2. I think I've seen a Pixel 6 and some other ones. We had a Pixel 6. But I don't think I've seen a Pixel 2. So we'd have to look at it and get our hands on and see if it's even updatable software wise.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Burning questions that you guys just absolutely have to have answered. Yes, Susan. What is that burning question?
It's about an upcoming talk on Comcast. Is
Okay.
there anything in there that would be of use to a Spectrum user?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I use Spectrum for my internet, my cable TV. Is there anything in the Comcast talk that's general enough that it would be of use to me?
Probably not.
Thank you.
So take the day off. I know you'll miss us. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Questions?
France 1, Morocco 0.
Yeah, France is the last one in my bracket, so they better win. All right, Lisa.
I have
You want me to go or you want me to wait?
We'll go to Lisa, then Tina. So Lisa first.
Okay, so this is an entirely different subject. What do you think the likelihood of TikTok getting banned is going to be? There's been a lot of news about that.
I think it won't get banned. I think it's just noise right now,
Okay,
personally.
it would surprise me because that seems like a real stretch to ban it.
Well, we often get confused between, free speech, capitalism, fascism, communism, and socialism. And so when we talk about free speech but only apply it in certain circumstances, we tend to forget that, it's also called capitalism, right? So I'll give you an example. Elon Musk gets mad at Apple because they didn't want to include it in their Apple store, Twitter into the Apple store. Well, that's actually Apple's complete right to do that or not to do that. Right. And so Elon Musk, you're shutting down free speech. Well, no, Apple in their business interests have the right to do whatever they want. Right? And so we often get confused with what we like and what we don't like. And so yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think they'll another goal. France. Oh, or maybe that's the first one. All right. Tina, question. Tina, you're on mute. Tina.
Eric,
I see that Eminem got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If you guys know who Eminem is. I think they should rename it the Music Hall of Fame, not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Because they got Dolly Parton in there too now. All right. Other questions?
Eric,
Marina.
you were talking about Twitter on iPhone, right? But actually,
Yes.
it is on an iPhone.
It is. Apple was threatening to not include it in the future.
Oh, okay. Actually, Jim Cook, I think, entertained Elon Musk and to show him around on the campus.
Yeah,
And
well,
yeah, they are
sure.
kind of on good terms now.
People make a lot of bluster and noise for a lot of reasons, some of which are practical and some of which are not. I don't know. I'm getting disenchanted with a lot of what we see just because we have too many billionaires. Evelyn, you had another question?
Yeah, I have a very, very old iPhone, and I wonder if I could make use of it because I don't know the log on anymore. I don't know anything. Can it be reconfigured?
Yeah, I mean, if you know the Apple ID, your Apple ID that you used with it, you can reset it, reuse it. You use it for playing games. You can use it for playing music. You can connect it to Bluetooth speakers and have music playing in your house. There's all kinds of things you can do with it if you so choose. Yes.
But I don't have I have an Apple ID, but it doesn't work on this phone. Or
It depends if you use your Apple ID. So the question is it locked when we reset it with your Apple ID? If it's locked with your Apple ID and you don't know what your Apple ID password is, it becomes a problem. But if you already know it, we just reset it, we clean it up, and you use it for however you want to use it for.
it wasn't with my Apple ID. It's an ID that I can't use. I don't use anymore.
Oh no, you might be able to. I don't know. We have to reset it. If you can get into it and reset it, or sign out of it first and then reset it, then it can be useful.
Oh, it was years ago. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Does
you.
Aaron Judge really need $360 million to play baseball? Or Carlos Correa, $350 million for 13 years with the Giants, which I think is a good signing, but that's okay. All right. Everyone watched the 49ers game this last week?
Yep.
Brock Purdy, the Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft last year. And
That was a pretty game.
yeah, it was a Purdy game. Yes, that's right. See, we missed you, John. We missed the dad jokes.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else have questions or comments? Well, thank you guys for a nice kind of fun, challenging, trying to keep us on our toes type of session. And we will talk to you Friday. If not, if we don't, let's see what else. If we don't talk to you on Friday,
It means happy.
we have Monday and we have
happy
next week of
holidays.
classes. Yeah,
Oh,
we
you
have
have
next
next
week.
week Monday?
Monday is Comcast, I think.
Monday is Comcast and Wednesday is Ring Security.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so that's what that's about. And then, like I said, streaming is Friday. We got 3 classes to end the year, and that's it. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Good.
Thank
session.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
It's a good
afternoon.
session.
Thank you.
Eric,
Oh, yes, I gotta Shalini, make me host, please, or I'll reclaim host. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Who
so
am I with?
it's interesting. This is Nancy, and I was just saying I should log back off and get back on again to
No, it's
see
okay.
that condition I get. But to my surprise, this is a Zoom meeting, right?
Yes.
So I get that. What is the wiki, whatever the?
Yeah,
message
so
that I
are
get?
you able to share your screen? You hit the green button, you should be able to. Let me see. Yeah. So if you look at your Zoom window, you have the mic and speaker, there should be a green share screen.
Okay, got it.
Go and share your whole screen.
Okay, I just did.
If you keep saying wiki, so I'm suspicious that you have wiki as your search engine.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, so let's see. I clicked on share screen. Is it not sharing?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, I clicked on the